Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to talk about some dashboard skills. We are going to use picture in the dashboard, and that picture will be linked with cells and ranges, so it will pick up not only the data but also the format of the cells, and that will be displayed in the dashboard. After that I will talk about how to use scroll when you have a limited display for the data in the dashboard. So the user can scroll through the table or the data lines. After that, I'm going to talk about how to align two or more pictures. So for example, I have few names here. And I want to display these names or these cells at a certain place in my dashboard, and say this cell has a background of yellow, this one is blue, and this one is green. So I want to copy this format to my dashboard. And for example, let's say my dashboard is over here somewhere, and in that dashboard let's insert a picture, and that picture is linked with file on my desktop, and let's say I had this google.png, and you can see that this is a picture inserted on my workbook. Let's say this is part of the dashboard. So I want to link this picture with my cells, so simply I will go to the formula bar and say is equal to B2 colon B4, enter. And you can see this is simply the picture is now linked with the cells. If I go to Paris and I change this to red, my dashboard automatically get the new format. So if I drag and change the column width, accordingly my dashboard gets updated. So this is very simple. So with this you can have any part of your workbook linked with your dashboard. So let's move to our next part, which is creating scroll with limited data display space. So I have this data now. This is, say, my payroll sheet, and it has serial number, employee number, name, basic salary, house, conveyance, utility, and so on and so on. Let's say this is my dashboard, or let's have another sheet. This is my dashboard sheet, and I want to have certain set of data. For example, let's insert first the picture. Where is our beloved Google? Yes. So I need to link this with payroll sheet, say this area, okay, from A3 to F8. So I would say is equal to, can I go and pick? Yes, I can go and pick. So let's say I don't need even the serial number. I want this area and say enter. So I got my dashboard. I go back to my payroll sheet and let me convert it into a table. So I get the standard format. So this is my table, and if I go back to my dashboard, you can see I have this dashboard in front of me. So I have these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. What I want is I want a scroll bar. Say for example, this ActiveX control, this scroll bar over here, So if I want to change, if I want to scroll through the records, I can click over here and I will get the desired results. So how to do it? I want to walk through all these records by using this scroll bar. So first of all, you need to understand that in this dashboard, there is a two-tier setting. One is where we have this title. This will be constant all the time. And then there are data cells. Let me change the background of the sheet so we can have some. Let's say the background is, this seems much better. And we can change the headings to the white background. And if I go here, you can see, let me zoom it. Yeah, this is good now. So what I want to do is I want to change these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cells by using the scroll. The scroll is definitely going to use DBA, and if you want to learn how to use ActiveX control, there is a video in my playlist. You can check it out. I will try to leave its link over this screen. So I was talking about this first title line is static, and we are going to change these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. So this means that I have to split my picture into two parts. The first part is with the static line, and the second part is where the data is going to be changed. So let's move it down, or we can create a copy. Control C, Control V. Do we have a copy? Yes, we have a copy, and link this to V3 to H3. Will it work? Not H83, it's going to be H3. So we have this title, and right now this will start from B4 to H8. So H34, not H34. Let's say 8 plus 5 is 13, so let's make it 13. And this is starting from 4. Minimum is 4. So let's say this is 4 plus 9. So now we have the first entry, that was this person, and 5893, and this is the other entries. So now I'm going to code these buttons so that the scrolls, my names are going to be changed. So there are two ways to doing it. One way is that I develop a macro and then link the scroll buttons with that macro. That can be done, or I can directly code these scroll buttons. So let's go the macro way. Let's go to our macros and let's create a new macro. Here is my VB editor. So I'm going to insert a module. I think you can see it. It's a good enough font. So let's say sub, and either it's going to be up or it's going to be down. Let's name up for change. So we are going to be working with tier 3. Let's call this tier 3 as DBoard, and this will be then this workbook.activate use dbook.select formatted better. All right, So now what we are going to do, this is picture 2. We are going to change, very simple, range of picture number 2. Okay, so this will be, let's say, this active workbook dot shapes, and the shape is picture 2, and let's check it out if our format is correct. And let's say we want to display MSG false, and we want to display the name dot name. So let's run this and see if our message box appears. And there is an error, and it says, this workbook, there is a spelling mistake and you must be trying to tell me, and still there is an error, and that is sheets dbook.select. Don't we have debook? DBoard, ARD, right this time. And we have an error in the third line also. MSG box active workbook dot shapes picture 2.name. And what is the error? Object does not spot this property or method. Okay. Dot shapes picture 2.name, and we have this picture 2. This is fine. Active workbook. This is active worksheet. So I am making lots of mistakes today. Let's run this again. And this still we have some error, and that is active worksheet. Active sheet. I think this is active sheet. Why I'm trying to, yeah, that was wrong, that I was trying to reinvent the wheel by trying to type the code. I should have copied it. So this is picture 2. Now our code is working fine. So what we want to do is we want to change the formula of picture 2. So let's say dot formula is equal to, let's copy this so that there is no mistake. What happened? Is equal to the current formula, and go back and let's run this. Debug. So yes, you are right. This time it's not message box. This time it's code. So still there is an error. And what is that error? ActiveSheet.Shapes picture 2.formula is equal to, do we need this? Let's try this. Let me pause this and get the formula for you. Okay. Alright guys, I have some code for you. So let's delete this one and let me explain how this works. This is a two-step code. First you have to select the shape, that is picture 2, and then you are going to change the formula, and this is how you're going to do it. So our formula is D42H9 right here. So if I execute it, so it is executing, and you can see this is B42H9. So if I say B42H10 and then run this code and go back, and you can see this is H10, and if I say, let's say 35, and if I run and then go back, and you can see the table is extended now. So it is going to be 4 to 13. So we are going to have, or we can have 5 lines, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So if I run this and go back, these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 records, and then we are going to change through scroll. So first of all, what I need to know is what is my current formula so that I can make change to it. Alright, so what I know is from my payroll sheet is that the minimum row number is 1 and the maximum is 78. Sorry, row number is 4 and the maximum row is 78. So let me put it down here, 4 to 78. This is where I want to go. What I'm going to do, I'm going to change this range. This is going to be B4 to H8, then B5 to H9, then B6 to H10, and so on. So with every click, there is going to change the range. First of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up the current formula once it is selected. So let's say MSG box, our dear friend, ActiveSheet.Shapes.Shapes. Let's try the simpler one. Picture2.formula. Alright, so there is an error. We didn't close the brackets. Let's run this. Oh, there's an error. Again an error. And it says ActiveSheet.Shapes.Formula. So what is the problem? Object doesn't support this property of method. Okay. So what if I delete the state? Or what if I say, because this is already selected, if I say Selection.Formula, so if I say F8, I run this, I get the formula, right? So I have this formula. Let's save this formula into a variable, and let's say my current formula is equal to whatever the formula is. Now I want to split this formula and I want to know what is the starting row number and what is the ending row number, so that I can change it. One way of doing is that I create everything in VBA, but VBA is slow at times. So let's say I use another sheet. Let's say this sheet name is working sheet. It's working. So let me zoom a bit and let's have our formula over here. This is our formula. So say, or we can say, let's get it written through our VBA code. Yes, select this and say range working, and the cell is B2 dot value is equal to Selection.Formula. Let's run this and see if we can have something. In our working sheet, we have this formula. So what we need the rows, and the rows are one is before the column and the other is after the column. So my columns are always B and H. I want to know if the row is single digit or double digit. It can be 10, it can be 4, it can be 9. So I have to be critical about it. All I need is I want to pick up the row numbers. So what I am going to do is I am going to first pick up the starting row. Okay, so what I need to know is payroll PAY 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So 17. So left comma 17. Oh no, I need mid function. So it's not going to be picking up from the left. So there is another video. I will share the link for left, mid, right is equal to B2 comma start number is 17 comma 1. Is it right? So I'm getting 4. Next thing, I want to know the column is equal to find what I want to find is column within this text, and that is at 18. So I want to pick up from 17 till wherever the column is minus 1. Is it right? No. It can be 19, it can be 18. So B4 minus 17. So if it is the answer can be 1, it can be 2, right? So either I'm going to get 1 digit or I'm going to 2 digit depending upon which row number I am. So let's go back to our code and check it out if this works. So let me change the formula. It should be, let's say 14 to 18. Let's run this, go back, and you can see this is 14 and I'm getting 14. So my equation is working correctly, but there is an issue. The issue is 14 is aligned towards left. So this means that Excel is not accepting it as a number. So I'll simply add 0 so that Excel can turn it into a number, pressing enter, and you can see that 14 is right aligned. So this is my starting row number, current starting row number. So what I want is, the next thing I want is the ending row number. What I know is after column there is an H, and after H I have the ending row number. So is equal to mid payroll from this comma start number. So column plus 2. I want to, this is 19, this is 20. I want to start from 21. And how many? Let's say 2. Let's say 2, because it can be, if it is 1 digit, it will be picked up. If there are 2 digits, it will be picked up. So it is 18. Let's go back to our code and check if this works. Let's make it B4 to H8 and let's run this. Go back and see, it is 8. Again, converting it to numeric, and that is numeric 8 accepted by Excel, right aligned now. So let's go back to our code. What we are going to do is we are going to pick these numbers and add 1 to each of them, and then we can know how this works. So no, I'm not going to change the formula right now. What I'm going to do is simply write the formula. And then I will get these values. So I'm going to pick from B3 and B5. So vStart is equal to, yep, I know, copy v3, and let's say start row, and then I'm going to pick up a value for the end row. Let's say my end row is going to be from B5, and what is going to be is going to add 1, so that I will get new values from the database. So this is done. All I need to do is write these new values to the formula in my picture, and that is here. I want to update this one. So my Selection.Formula would be this, and I'm going to separate 4, and I'm going to separate this, right? So now instead of 8 and 4, I am going to use start row, and that start row is going to be used 4, and then I'm going to use the end row, and let's delete this. You can have it. So upper change, instead of upper change, I would say next row, right? Next row. Let me copy this. I'm going to change this name. Where I'm going to change this name, I want to use this when I'm clicking this down key of the scroll bar. So I'm going to go to developer now, right click and view code, and this is going to not change, but spin down is going to run this macro. Leave this, turning design mode off. Let's run this now, and you can see. Can you see? Oh, all right. So this is increasing. This should not increase. This is E17 to A17, E18. So if I click very quickly, then there is a problem. So I have to add some time to my macro so that all calculations are done before I can click again. So I will say application.wait now plus time value. It's going to wait for 1 second. Column. Oops. Right. Another packet. Let's try this now. And for the timing, let's correct this. Going to be 4 to 8. Enter. And let's click on the here. This can be annoying for some because it's a bit slow. You have to wait for 1 second. But if I keep clicking on it, then you see these rows start to add up. So this is the problem. I don't know this one where this comes or D4 to H. Let's try something else. Okay, I have did something. I have to change it. D4, right? So what I can try is instead of adding the time, let's force Excel to calculate first, right? So clicking quickly, oh, it's working now. So I need to calculate, and you can see if I click too quickly, there's one row added. So what I can do is this, instead of getting the end row, I can simply say that end row is equal to start row plus 5. Now it's going to stop it. So let's forget the calculate and let's try this now. So should be H8 and 4. Let's run this. And I'm quitting very quickly, and you can see still there is no additional row. So this is good, this is working now, and we can go up to where. So what will happen if I cross 74? You can see, I can see black lines. I don't like this. I want this number to stop at 78. So let's go back and say this start row should be minimum of, it should be, say, minimum is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 74. So this should be minimum of 74, comma, whatever the actual value is. And likewise, the end row should be minimum of 78, comma, whatever I get from above. 74 plus 5 is 79, so this should be 73, I got it. Let's try again. Let's start from not 81, let's start from 70 to 74, and let's click on our scroll now. Okay, there is a problem, and the problem is I cannot use the function minimum like this. I have to say worksheet function dot. Okay, Control C, V. I hope I can run now. All right, so this is now 71, and one thing is I don't want this actually to be selected. Let's move our cursor to somewhere around G8. Print G8 dot select. Once it's done, so end the selection of picture. So, and I don't even like this blinking of the screen, so let's say green application.screen updating is equal to false, and before quit it's true. So let's run this now. What is happening? So 78. Okay, because I'm at 78, it's not changing. So let's go back to 69 plus 4 is plus 5 is 4. Enter. All right. So you can see the cells are moving down, and now it's stopped because I have reached the end of these data entries. So let's go back and create the opposite side of this macro. I'm just going to copy this macro and create a copy. And is it done? Yes, it is done. And let's name this previous row. And now what change I'm going to do is instead of adding one, it's going to subtract one, right? But this is going to be +5 always. But now instead of minimum 73, I want a maximum of my records are starting from 4, so 4 comma this, and 4 plus is 9, so 9 comma +5. So I think this will work, and that's it. All I need to do is link this macro with the scroll button, and my scroll button is in my dashboard sheet, so this time it's going to be pin up code. So this is the event codes. I will share a link how to do this, link of the video, and let's go back to our dashboard and let's see if this works now. If I go up, what was that? I could see lots of what is happening here? It's working, but there is an error in our code. So down is working perfectly. Up scroll is not perfect. So let's go back and see what we code need changes. So activate is number one, right is the formula, right, and the maximum of 4. And oh, this is going to be -1. Yeah, it's going to be -1, and whatever it is, you need this minimum here because this is always going to be +5. Okay. So maybe this, okay, right? Then formula is equal to vStartRow and vEndRow G8 select. Let's see. I don't see any other error in this. If this works, so let's say this. Right now I am at, let's say 13, and this one is 8. So let's click this down. Sorry, going up, and stop because we are at the top of the 5893. The first entry is 5893. So let's go back to our dashboard and do some clicking, go down. Great. So let's go up then. Perfect. So this is how you can create a scroll for your dashboard. Right. So I hope you have followed each and every step of this video. And let's go back to our agenda for this video and see what else we need to do today. And that was aligning two pictures, right? So for example, these rows get changed every time, and I want to have another picture aligned with this dashboard. For example, I give a choice of how many sheets the user wants, how many number of rows the user wants. For example, let's say I have a value over this in this cell. Let's say it here. Let's say have it here. This is 4. So this is from J7, go to Visual Basic, and let's say Let me pick this value up. I am going to pick this up from my dashboard. So it's going to be, let's say, vLines equal to range is DBoard, and the cell is J7 dot value. What happened? This was ActiveSheet. Anyways, I hope range dot value vLines, and instead of 5, it's going to be vLines. How many lines I want? Right. So if I go up, instead of 5, it's going to be vLines, and I want the value over there too. So my both macros are updated now. Let's go back and run these macros and see they work. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why? It should be 4. If I say this is 7, okay, they're working, but there's a difference of 1 line. Just forget about it and see if I want to go 10, and if I change this, so the range changes. Problem is, what if I have another table down there, or what if I have a picture? For example, let's have our dear Google buddy back. Where is Google? Here it is. So here is our Google, and we want it to be aligned here, right? Maybe, yeah, over here. So if I have 5 rows, Google should come up automatically. So this is picture 5. What I'm going to do is, let me show you how it is done. So let's have another macro sub test. I'm just going to test my code here, and let me get this code and say MSG box is equal to ActiveSheet.Picture2. For example, this is the 2 dot top. Okay. Don't worry. Right. So if I run this code now, it is saying some number 22. This principally this is the number of location from where this window is starting. Like if I move it here and I run it now, you can see this is now 59. So the top is this place, this place of this top line, and I need to know this height also. So what I need to say is, instead of top, let me get you HEIG, height. So if I run this now, this is 79. This is height of this picture, which is actually showing the cells. So I know the height, I know the top. This is top, and if I add height and +1 into this, I will get the placement for my Google. So let's say so let's store this in a variable, and the variable is, let's say, placement is equal to ActiveSheet this, and what I want to do is I want to change the top of my this Google, and this is picture 5. Picture 5 dot top. Let's see if this works. Is equal to vPlacement. So I have started from the top, then added height, and after adding height, I added one also. So this should be next to it. Right now, this is down here. If I run this code, and there is another item was specified, name was not found. Picture 5 was not found. So if I say matter, picture 5.select and selection.top, will it work? Selection.top. If I run it now, will it work? No, so this was not the problem. Problem was this. This should be 2 also. Alright, let's run this and go back. And Google is aligned. Great. So let's copy this code and have this here before GA select and have it here to go selection here, and let's go back and let's change this to 7 and run it, and Google is down. Great. If I say 3 and go up, Google is down. On the second click, Google is aligned. I have to click twice. Why? This may be again the problem of calculation. Say calculate. Can be a problem calculation or the rating. I don't know. Let's try to save it because I'm going to share the code with you. So down and let's say 6 and click this down and click working. So let's say 3 and go up and it's working. So it was the problem of calculation. So I hope that you liked this video. If you have learned something new, think about giving this video a thumbs up and think about subscribing to the channel. I hope you are going to. I hope you have learned something new.